poor brother, Mittens.
What's the cat's name again?
Mittens.
There he is.
Mr. Mittens to you.
Your big cat. At that. Actually, he's over here. Hi, hey there.
Okay.
This isn't
I forget where we left off.
We were out for the breakfast.
Oh my god, that was so long ago.
Sorry, where was I? Right off the hop. Welcome back, everybody, to another exciting episode. Hey, of Waterdeep, actually.
My teammate looked at me where it was.
And how are our levels? Our levels seem good. Audio's good. And of course, we've got our fantastic palette of personalities that is this plethora of players right here. Welcome back, everybody. Who would care to regale what did happen last episode? This would be months ago in real time. When you guys last ventured.
Well, as I recall, we were gonna take down Strauss. We had made it to the end of his lair, or what we thought was his lair. Believe we battle a big creature before entering. Was there some battle before?
Don't recall.
This is so long ago.
There was thudding on the door, and then we opened the door, and then I believe we battled some large.
Yeah, we finally got past a locked door.
Yes. And then, so after, struggling to get to his chambers, we finally came into his lair to find him in there, and he seemed quite, it was almost comical to him that we were there. He didn't really seem worried, he didn't really care. And I think we questioned him a little bit beforehand. We were trying to get some answers out of him. There was some tapestries up on the wall. One appeared to be Cliff, which I believe we mentioned him, and he made a big spiel about Cliff. How we probably should have perhaps worried about Cliff a little more than we had initially. Insinuating that Cliff was going to be dealt with. We then battled Strauss. It was a fierce battle. He brought out all the marbles, he had books flying off the shelf, and everything. And to our surprise, when we defeated him, it wasn't actually him. It was just some sort of
Spell.
illusionary spell. But he was quite powerful nonetheless. We puttered around his lair after defeating him, or an aspiration of him, and we saw in the magic mirror an explosion and fire at our guild hall, what do you want to call it, right? Mm-hmm. At the Waterdeep Sanitation Department. And to which, after we searched the lair, we passed through the mirror, and we're then standing on the streets of Waterdeep, staring at our burning headquarters, with no sign of Cliff.
Well, not from the street outside where you were standing.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if I missed anything of import, but
the only other thing I had was that Strauss had a big statue of himself looking like Orcus.
Right. Yes.
And with that, it was night or early morning, rather, when you
I
guys.
don't think we knew.
I think
Did I not actually say anything about it?
from what I recall, it was daytime, but I don't know if that means it was early
I
or
thought it was night.
you thought it was night. Okay.
I just pictured it dark.
Yeah. I
So
feel
the
like
fire was
burning.
more dramatic.
Yeah, burning buildings makes me think of night.
Just one of those things.
Yeah.
And as the hang on, I need a couple guards here too. Slowly but surely. This is not quite as dramatic as I had hoped, but we can work on that. Point being. Oh, there we go. With the whole of the building steadily going up in flames before you, the camera pans low behind as it flares in flames. The slow burning conflagration seemingly ridiculing you as it slowly erases away the bits of your memories before you. All around you, the dilapidated buildings that surrounded the Waterdeep Sanitation Department headquarters for all these years sit silently in the darkness, unable to do anything. There we go, that's better. Fix that, eh? Yeah, there you go, there's a fire.
Yeah, that's a fire.
Holy.
As the whole of the building flares in front of you, bits of it burning and falling apart, the whole of it collapsing before you. You stand in the street, listening as you watch pieces of it falling over. Massive timbers sliding off in front of you. You can see the openings to the inside of the building as it continues to rage in front of you. You can see a few guards off to the one side simply staring, and a bit of a crowd idly situated nearby. Actually, how about that crowd? So as you sit in the street with this massive fire and no sign of any support, any effort to put it out, you see the crowd nearby off to the left of you. Oh my goodness, this is challenging. As it were, you can see the crowd off to the left over here, and your overhead camera, your eye in the sky, is going to show you that you have some guards yonder, right here. As you sit in the street, the fire is burning away ever so loudly, and yet for you almost silently. As you sit in a group, Richter agape, Ix with a slight frown but curious eyes. The lot of you illuminated orange in the bathing glow of the massive flames. You can see that there is, despite the flames raging, some points of respite within. You think to yourself, maybe those are the stone chambers for training and storage that will remain unscathed. As you think this, you watch as bits of it start to topple aside from the intense heat, and you wonder if maybe not, that being the case. But as you situate yourselves again in the street, you are watching your headquarters, your home of the last however long, slowly burning away. Camera pans against
Could
Tom
I-
Quickfinger.
Could I run up towards the burning structure?
To show Voldros behind him as he steps into frame and then runs past towards the building in the distance. The camera pans low against you as you approach upon the burning structure. You can try and make it past the timbers through the still burning doorway. It is a stone-framed archway. The door itself is more or less just embers on hinges. You figure you could probably just kick it out of the way and make your way into the building.
Okay, yeah, I'll give it a shot. But before I do that, I'm gonna turn around and wave my companions over. Hopefully they'll help me.
Okay, I'm gonna pull my fucking tab button out.
On my way over, I'm gonna run up to the crowd and ask them, did anyone make it out?
One of the people in the crowd looks over towards you and says, "There were some people that ran out early on. Yeah, they seemed armed. They got into a wagon aside a royal's cart and sped away. I didn't catch quite whose cart and wagon it was. It was dark, my lord. Couldn't see nothing for the flames."
Do you know who got out?
As I say, my lord, simply some armed individuals, soldiers. I assumed it was members of the guild, like yourselves.
Did you see which way they went?
Aye, down the main road. And the camera pans around, simple enough to show pretty much the only way out of this sort of back alley of Waterdeep. And the camera panning as such. This being the building, they would have just gone that way.
Thank you.
Of course.
Kava, quickly, come help me.
All right, being resistant to fire damage, I'll go and help Volgos by dragging lineage.
Might be an idea. You head on in. As you watch Voldros bust through the door easily enough with a quick Sparta of the wood, the embers and what flaring all around you as you rush into the burning building. Your massive companion makes his way through. I need a quick strength check for you to shove some timbers out of the way to make more space for yourself there, my massive dragonborn friend.
19.
Easily do you shove said timbers directly out of the way. The thing adjusts as you simply walk in aside your companion. The whole of the space is burnt all around, and the floor here does not look anything even slightly safe. You figure one wrong step and you'll fall into the foundation, where you can see flames licking about against the against whatever alcohols and other flammables might be resident in the basement of this place.
You see anything, my friend?
You can see the stairs across the way are somewhat still intact for whatever reason. In fact, that side of this chamber hasn't had the fires reach it as yet. As you stand here, you suddenly insight, looking about, that the fires were lit from the outside. Clearly, for the amount of the interior that is still untouched. As you stand there for the moment, both you and Carver looking up towards the balcony, you can see movement, you think. What's your passive perception, Voldros?
12.
And Carver?
9.
Like I said, you think you see movement. In fact, it's probably just the flames. Outside, in the street. My friends, Whiskers, Alia, and Tommy, what will you be doing?
How high, like, I can see the balcony, how high does it look? Like, how hard would it be to get up there?
It's, the balcony itself is only about 12 feet up. It's a single story up. With that in mind, the wall is not typically difficult to clamber. It's just on fire at the moment, so it's a bit more difficult than usual. In fact, a lot more difficult than usual.
Does
But not
sorry.
impossible.
No, you go.
Does Waterdeep have like a fire department I can go fetch?
They sure do. Not in your part of town, though. Rent's kind of low around here.
Yeah.
Do we see any sort of water around us? Puddles, even.
Not even tears do you see around you.
Not even two.
Richter looks about for a moment and says, "Blast it all, the gods are useless. Aye! I say, should you not be seeking out some sort of relief for this? What if it should catch any nearby buildings?" And the one guard simply scoffs. "None of our concern, governor," he shouts back. "We're simply here to maintain peace. At ease." Richter simply says, "Ruffians, they hire anybody into the militia. City guard is rife with them."
Well, I'm feeling courageous, and I'm kind of like rifling through my backpack to see what I can use. And my trusted water skin has a little bit of water in it.
So do you want to douse yourself and run in after them?
No. So I rip up some. I had like a spare shirt in there. I don't know why, but I did.
Okay.
So I rip that up and I wrap it around my hands and douse it in water, and I try to climb up to the balcony.
I'll take
This
it.
is where Whiskers might die.
Roll.
Mittens is staying very clear because he's scared of getting any sort of fire on his beautiful coat.
Yeah, that beautiful coat is flammable. So
Yeah, so he's backed way away.
with that in mind, go ahead and make me an athletics check.
A 19.
Fabulous. Quick as a wink with your and rapid hands, you jump upon some nearby barrels that had not yet caught flame and parkour your ass up the wall. Clambering with a couple quick grasps, you manage to reach the balcony without issue. You find yourself about here-ish. You're going up the front facade, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. You find yourself up on the second balcony, and from where you're situated, can see down into the main chamber, having with most of the walls having burned away, and you can see your companions down below. You think, what's your passive perception?
14.
Yeah,
I also have dark vision. Can I see like any clearer?
it's pretty bright in here. I mean, you know, it's on fire, so.
True.
But with that in mind, you can see your companions down below as they are entering into the flaming place. What's more is you can see a couple guildsmen laying about in what is remaining of the offices. As the fire here is slowly encroaching in from the outside, you can see Cliff's office, where he is situated. You can see spread across the floor next to one of his aides. He's not moving.
And the aide isn't moving either.
No, nobody's moving.
I shout down to Carver and Voldros to let them know what I see. Carver, head to Cliff's office.
Voldros can hear you over the raging flames. Carver is seeming to enjoy the element a bit, but following Voldros' lead and being very cautious of any potential enemies that might be here.
Come along, Carver. I heard Whiskers yell at us. To the office.
To the stairs, let's go.
So, you guys look towards these stairs. Now, I did say that they're mostly intact. You can tell that that there's something going on from from underneath it. As you get close, and you can see heat waves coming through like the slats of the stairs. And what's more is, as you take a first step, the whole of it kind of creaks. So something's burned out underneath, and you're not sure if it'll hold all your weight.
Okay. Maybe I'll try and prance up there.
Okay.
And
You
throw my...
prance easily enough. As you carefully take each step up the staircase, you reach the top without too much issue at all.
Okay. Do I have time to quickly throw a rope down to Carver?
Sure.
Okay.
You're gonna be able to pull them
Or
up.
is it just like, is there like flames engulfing us right now, or is it just?
There are flames as you're rushing up the to the top floor. There are flames coming in from the one side. But again, like this area, this little central area, hasn't quite had the flames reach it yet. And what's more is, as you get to the top, you can see that a lot of the second floor has been burned in from the outside, as the flames are just, burrowing into the building. But yeah, the office spaces have not been really touched yet. Having that the whole of the place is like fire breaks with stone trim for the doors and walls and whatnot. The fire is taking a sweet time to get to the center of the building. But with that in mind, you can see the offices. You can see some of the walls have burned away, and you can also now see. You're pretty sure it's Cliff face down in the office, and you're not sure who that is with him. With that said, you can thoroughly throw a rope back, and as you're doing so, there's not. You're good. Never mind. You throw a rope back, and then Tommy, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go to these guards and try and get them to help.
Okay. Richter follows suit with you. He falls in step, providing some sort of moral support, I suppose, as you guys get there. The guards look down towards you as you approach. Richter hangs back a little bit, letting you stand on your own.
We need your help. There's people inside, and you need to help get them out.
As the one guard looks to the other, you note a sort of expression that you wouldn't have expected. You would have expected all sorts of expressions, I'm sure, but this sort of curiosity or look of, what's the word I'm looking for? Sort of a predatory look that crosses his face, you wouldn't have expected. As the guard looks towards the captain, you recognize by the badge on his chest, or not, sorry, captain, I should say, the captain of the squad there, squad captain.
Sergeant.
There he goes. So as I was saying, you note on his chest that he's the head dude of this little group. As the one guard looks towards him, he looks down at you and says, "There's nobody left alive in there." Matter of factly, like, had to know. And then he, after a moment, offers up, "We checked."
When did you check?
When we got here, there's nobody alive in there. Now your friends might be in there, but we're not running in to save their hides.
Thank you. And
As you back up towards Richter, Richter looks down at you. "Is that it, Ben? Is that all you're gonna say?"
well, they told me that everyone inside was dead. And
I heard what they said, man. He looks over towards the building and then down at you. "Do you think your friends will find anyone in there?"
No, I think we need to get them out.
He looks over towards the guards and then over at the building. "I think you might be right."
I'm gonna overhear the conversation that Tom's having with the guards and yell up to Whiskers that they need to get out as soon as possible. Something.
Fair enough. Oh yeah, you're in the building with Voldros. So you'll be about here at that point, so you can actually hear it beyond the fire. But so you're gonna yell at the guards what?
I'm gonna yell at Whiskers that she needs to leave. It's something's wrong.
Fair enough.
I yell back, "Cliff is in here."
Mm-hmm.
You guys,
That's no longer. Cliff's dead.
He might be, but he's here.
you guys watch as the captain, Tom, you notice specifically, and Richter standing next to you, puts his hand on your shoulder as the captain moves a little further forward at the sound of this. As your voice echoes out, Whiskers, saying that Cliff is there, the one fellow steps forward. Now, Tom, what's your passive perception? It was, you said 14?
10.
10. Yours is shit. Okay, never mind. So he steps forward, like I said. That's good stuff. Right on. And
Am I in like imminent danger of like burning alive? Like
No,
what's
in
my
fact,
situation?
given you are in a burning building, currently where you're
I'm on
standing,
like the balcony of the burning building though, like sort of.
Okay.
yeah, which is decidedly like more burny than just inside. But it's like it feels like it could break through at any time, anywhere you step wrong on this place. So from where you're standing, the outer wall here is mostly burned away. You can see where a bunch of stuff was thrown up onto the balcony and has smashed around. Your first insight tells you probably alchemical fire, some oil, something to that effect that would just spread and conflagrate. With that said, the balcony itself is mostly covered in tile, but you can see that it has wooden supportings underneath. So the fire has done obvious damage, but the whole of the balcony miraculously is still a thing. For how long is anybody's guess at this point, though. With that said, you can carry forth through the burning doorway. What's left of it, it is still a stone pair of columns leading all the way through the place. And that smoldering frame is open and awaiting.
Is there a way for me to get into Cliff's office or
Oh,
not?
sorry, yeah, I meant to say
Employee?
through that doorway is a simple hall with an open right-hand side that is, of course, the overlooking the space with the stairs that Voldros has ascended. So Voldros is currently just standing in front of you, about 40-ish feet away. 30 feet away, we'll say. As he'll be approximately here-ish at the set of stairs, at the head of the stairs leading down. He's currently holding a rope for Carver there. And as this is all happening, by the way, Carver, would you like to ascend the stairs or take the rope?
Well, both. So I'll grab onto the rope and say, "Hold on, Voldros, I'm coming up.
Sounds good.
Prepare for the worst."
All right. As you head up the stairs, it's only a matter of a few before one breaks underfoot from your massive, of course, dragonborn stature. Proud, loud, and wonderful, but heavy. And so with that said, I need a dex check. Simple of 10 or better.
Eight.
Fabulous. With the rope in hand, you stumble forth, but holding the rope, you don't fall off the stairs. You actually find yourself holding taut against the rope and maintaining balance, pulling your foot up out of the frothing, flaming hole that you create. You can see underneath that sure as shit, the flames have eaten away most all the support structure within the stairs. And that column of flame that shoots up, well, you're immune to fire, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, fire. Woo. You carry on. After a brief stumble, you carry on up the stairs, making your way to the top without issue, and leaving a couple more broken in your wake. Being that, I mean, it's not going to hurt you. You can make me one more check. Let's see if you get a 1 or not.
Dex?
I mean, really. Otherwise, I'm going to make you check every stair. It doesn't make sense. So.
Carver, we can't get injured or die here today. We no longer have a benefits package, I would assume.
Don't worry, it's a mighty 8. I'm fine.
Another 8? All right, yeah, let's say. Busting through stairs here and there, but otherwise you don't go through the whole of them. With that in mind, you make it to the top, passing Voldros back his rope, I'm assuming.
Yes, of course. Thanks, Voldros. Great idea for the rope.
You also now are witness to, indeed, Cliff's body laying face down in his office. You're surrounded on all sides by flaming structure. The interior is, while still hot and burning and full of smoke, largely still unscathed compared to the embers and rotted away bits that surround you on the outer skirts of this building. Again, I want to stress this has a lot of stone supports coming up through the center and providing fire breaks for the rooms. So the fire is having to like kind of follow a maze around trying to burn the whole of the building out. But with that said, you're standing there atop the stairs. A lot of you are mostly together here, with the exception of Tom and Richter in the street, and Ix, who's hanging out with Muffins. And the camera's gonna Mittens. Camera's gonna pan against Mittens' face as he's purring away, and he's got his eyes closed. He's very comfortable. We pan up and we see his ears flicking back and forth comfortably as a hand scratches his head. And then the camera pulls trucking back to show the whole of the arm, and then Ix, and then Mittens opening his eyes and looking over, and then realizing who it is, glaring at him. At which point Ix, gives a little reaction there, appropriate as it is, pulling his hand away so it doesn't get eaten. And the camera pans back towards you guys all inside. As I was gonna say, Aaliyah, what are you doing out in the street? Anything specific?
None of them are clearly coming out, so I'm gonna head in behind Whiskers and try to scale the same balcony that she did.
Are you gonna pull the same sort of douse your hands trick?
Yeah, I have some cloth in my backpack and my water skin still.
Okay.
Yeah. Do I have to roll anything? Whatever.
We're supposed to be getting out of the building, not into it.
I know, but they're clearly not heeding our warning, so they're gonna need an extra set
You
of
have a
hands.
bow? You should like shoot an arrow into the wall of the rope.
So an athletics check on your part, 12 or better.
Athletics check. I'm going to get it. Oh yeah.
You can roll on there.
I just did it. 12.
12? Fabulous. You parkour your way up the side of the wall. As all your prep and doing takes place, you guys have a moment up there. What are you doing? You've all kind of regrouped. You can see
I've joined with Valdros and Carver, and presumably trying to get to Cliff.
Really seen the Cliff's office, basically.
Flames shoot up between the cracks in the floorboards. You stare forth as a bit of timber is flickering and sparking as it starts to give way, and you watch as the timbers above it crumble, adding weight upon it. It all looks like it's going to come crashing down upon Cliff any moment.
Grab him and get out of here.
Yeah.
Alive later.
Is there two bodies, Cliff and somebody else?
Aid.
Yeah, I think there's two, right?
Yeah, there's a second
Yeah.
person in there.
Okay, so
Well, Carver
we need
and
to,
I
yeah, we
can
need to just
pull the
grab them
bodies.
and get out.
Voldros, I'll grab the bodies and I'll jump out the window. You clear the rest of the rooms and I'll meet you on the ground.
I'll go
Our
through his.
contracts.
I'm gonna go through his drawer and see if there's anything of use before we leave.
Okay.
See if there's any-
You find a bottle of liquor, 2 jugs of ink, several quills. As you're staring upon the drawer, there's a bunch of embers that falls into the drawer, and the feathers just. A moment later, the drawer ignites, and as it starts to burn away, you can also see. Actually, no, that's. He's also. You know what? He's also got a super fine scarf in there, very flammable as well. It just like flash paper, and a can of gasoline. Totally, yeah, 100%. As well as a box of fireworks. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, all that aside, yeah, he's just got a little bit of office supplies in there, and as you open it up, comically, an ember falls in from above, and it literally just starts to burn away as you look upon it. Like, really, he's got a couple other drawers you check through. You do find that there's a set of keys, and there is a cash box. He's got a cash box in one of the drawers.
I'm gonna grab the cash box
Okay.
and
Keys. You gonna grab the keys?
Yeah, I'll grab the keys and
Alright.
the cash box because those are important things. I don't know if they're gonna be useful, but and then let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's
I
your
think
passive
Carver-
perception?
Carver's picking
Hang
up
on.
bodies, you said? Are you flinging one over each shoulder, or what are you doing?
Yeah, grab one over each shoulder and then jump from the balcony back to ground.
Okay.
There's 2 bodies, right, Dooley?
There are 2 bodies. Cliff is a rather rotund, older fella, and his aide is, I'd say, early 20s, rather portly male as well.
So you never
So can he carry both or no?
Or should I just do one?
I'm gonna go with no, to be honest. The way you were hoping,
Okay, I'll grab one.
Okay,
I can grab the other one.
and then
I'll
also, insofar as jumping down, I want to illustrate you're jumping down 12 feet.
Oh yeah, no, we're just tossing their bodies down. Fuck it.
Oh, man.
They might be alive. I'm just gonna go out on a limb. I was gonna say, as you jostle and pick up Cliff, he does moan, and although he's got a severe gash on his head, like somebody thought they'd killed him, he's very alive. Although he cuffs,
I kind of lean over the aide. Does he look alive?
he
Maybe I check his pulse.
you check. He's dead.
Okay.
Let's
bring
leave this
the-
one.
But as you look upon him, you see he is clutching. He's clutching a cramped up piece of paper. Looks like a scroll of some sort. Looks like something important. You're not sure. Is it even paper?
I unclench his.
The moment you do, you realize it's not even paper. It's a sort of leather. You're not sure what it is until you open it up, and you can see on it the crest that you were seeing before. That family's crest.
Do I recognize the aide? Have I seen him before?
No.
I grab the little like leather bit and I tell Carver and Baldros, he's dead. Let's leave him. Let's go.
As you guys are situated here, bits of the ceiling fall down around you as the fires rage from above. Various bits of wood and timber crashing down, land on the floor, some going through it, being so large as to do so. You're going to be carrying Cliff. You can throw me a quick strength check, Mr. Sir. That would be an athletics check, actually. And Elia, as you clamber up to the top, you can see everybody there situated within the chamber as Carver is currently picking up Cliff.
11.
Okay, that'll do. As you lift up the fella, and he groans some. Are you throwing him over your shoulder, or are you carrying him baby style, or what's going on?
Over my shoulder's cooler.
All right. You heft him over your shoulder. As you do so, there's a low rumble, and then a long, steady rip.
Great. Oh, Cliff. Regular as always.
So, with that in mind, Tommy, Voldros, Alia, and Whiskers, what are you guys doing?
I'm climbing out of there.
Leah at the end of the hall, or
Well, I'm
not-
still on the balcony.
or the balcony.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Everybody except Aaliyah can throw me a dex check. Tommy, you're good too. Tommy, you're not in the building.
No,
You're
I'm safe with
outside
these
by
cards.
Richter. You're fine. But everybody within the building can throw me a quick dex check as you make your way out of the building.
15.
Terrific stuff. You managed to make it out of the building without issue. Sorry, it's 20?
20, but not on that.
That's fine. That's fine. You clear any obstacles and avoid getting a flaming timber in the face. And Carver,
19.
fabulous. You managed to make it out of the building as well without falling through the floor or being struck in the face by a burning timber. As you guys get out to the balcony, though, the lot of you steadily collecting upon this already strained into a burning mass of timber and tile, you suddenly feel it crack underneath you. You have but a moment before you feel the thing will give away from the building. What do you do?
Okay, well,
I'm just gonna jump off of it. Take some weight off. Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to need a quick athletics check as you hurtle off of the balcony. Anybody else who would care to do this can do so as well. It is a 12-foot drop.
Okay, I got 18 plus 5.
Terrific stuff. As you leap off the edge, you manage to land some distance away. Sorry, what is that?
I'm gonna do a triple backflip off of it.
Oh, wow. Okay. Like so much gently, you hurtle away off the balcony, doing several flips, and land a moment later down below amidst some hay, taking 2 damage in the fall, but are otherwise unscathed.
I try to just clamber back down.
Okay. You race towards the edge and throw me athletics.
12.
Okay. Sliding down the side, you manage to reach the bottom without any major issue.
I'll just follow them back down the same way I came.
Okay.
But I don't do so well, so it's a 6.
That is unfortunate. As you race to do the same, following down among your companions, you manage to get yourself a jet of flame in the face as a window nearby bursts, glass shards exploding past you. 4 damage do you take from the ensuing disastrous chaos.
Alright.
That's in her face?
Next time
Just
I
as,
will-
well, aside her face.
Damage.
Aside her face, not like directly in her face.
Like I have a
Is
cool,
your hair okay?
Yeah, I have like a cool one.
Oh, you like one of those like.
I mean, there's the smell of burnt hair, but you're otherwise still fashionable.
Cool.
Thank you.
Oh, you actually.
With that in mind, you descend down to the street level as fast as you can. As you, with Cliff on your back, reach the ground. Sorry, how are you doing that? We haven't quite covered that.
Sorry, I'm gonna yell up to him first and tell him to leave Cliff because these guards told me that everyone inside was already dead.
How are you telling him this?
I'm yelling it
Oh,
towards him. These nice guards told me everyone's dead. Don't waste time with the dead body.
I'll look at Tom and I'll look at the guards. I'll shake my head and I'll say, and I notice that Voldros is still by a pile of like hay and straw. I'll say, hey, Voldros, catch, and I'll throw Cliff to Voldros, and then I'll jump off and I'll land in a superhero pose.
fucking epic. All right, so Voldros, this is gonna suck for you, bro.
God damn it.
You're getting like a 50, 60-year-old fat dude thrown at you. Hope you're all right with that. But this is happening. So I need you to make me a strength save or strength check. Just a straight up athletics check here. That changed like 3 times. Athletics check, if you could, to catch Cliff as the football is launched.
Okay, here we go. 9 plus 5, 14.
All right. It's, what can be said of a flying fat man that hasn't been said of a flying boulder, volcanic debris, or any other sort of hurtling projectile that nobody wants to get hit with. And so it is that you are struck by the bludgeoning force of three bludgeoning fat man damage as you catch Cliff against yourself, knocking the air out of you as you hoof against this, but manage to still stay standing.
Easy, man.
As the ground shakes a moment later from... No, not quite. Hang on a second. That was totally not right. Excuse me. The hero pose that is struck by the superhero that is Paladin sorry, Carver the Paladin. Looking at your name. Is it 3-pronged or is it's 3-pronged, isn't it?
Oh, it's 3-pronged, baby.
Okay. As you stand ever so resolute and stoically, Richard kind of like just gives a slight applause. The guards in the background look amidst each other, and the captain gives a nod at some of the fellows. These guys start to spread around a little bit, coming in towards single file, going to pass Richter, as this guy in the background is fourth. And actually, we're missing one. Where'd the other one go? Here he is. Perfect. The last one unshoulders his bow and starts to knock an arrow as he takes one out of the quiver and puts it against the string. The camera pans against the scene, pulling back as it comes down low to where Ix is situated next to the cat. And he looks down and says, "Mittens, I don't think they're going to play nice." And he starts to walk forth. Mittens walking in with him. You had just finished clambering down. You're going to be over yonder. Or sorry, no, you went up the front. So actually you've come down to right about yay. You're pretty much doing the same. You'll be right there. Voldros, you're already down. And you've 3-pronged it to there. With that, the crowd here is, somewhat changed, but very much still the same crowd. And you folk, situated as you are aside the guards, watch as Quick Fingers, where are you going to be? You're currently there.
I'm still near Richter and the guards, I assume.
Richter positions himself such that he's between you and the guards, looking down towards you, giving the eyeball as he raises an eyebrow towards the archer specifically. He doesn't mouth anything, he doesn't murmur anything, he just looks around, but you do see him thumb at the hilt of his blade.
Okay, I'm gonna put myself a little further behind him, putting him between me and the
some
archer.
Distance away between you and Richter himself turns around at this, looking back towards the guards as they suddenly note that he's noted. And they start to spread up a bit as well. As this guy comes in towards Richter, Richter puts up his shield and says, "Get behind me, man." He then says, "Who do you work for? Who do you work for? You. He says it a couple times to get the attention of the spear chucker coming towards. As he unshoulders his shield and brings it about, he holds it kind of idly, but close against his body, as he still continues to just thumb his sword. Like he hasn't taken out his sword, but he's armed his shield. And the camera pans low to show the rest of you guys as the guards come in towards, and the few of them look over towards one another. The spear chucker can be heard easily saying, "Watch out for the big scaled one. He looks mean." These two give a nod and move in towards you. Take the bitches.
Oh, those are fighting words.
I don't know if you're having what's good with them now.
Rage, you can turn to barbarians. Do I? So obviously, I can kind of hear this, right?
Voldros and Carver not so much. The elves 100%. You guys 100% heard that. Richter heard that too, but his attention's on the guys in front of them, in front of you and in front of him and Tommy. He simply says, "We're outnumbered."
How far away are the guards from Mittens?
Hang on, sorry, I just want to double check something. Guards are going to be 30 feet. The first guy, is 30 feet away from. So Mittens can easily close the distance there. But, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then there's 1, 2, 3. Okay, never mind. He doesn't say we're outnumbered. He says, "These odds, they might be in our favor." With that in mind, Yeah. These guys are doing what they're doing. What are you guys doing? They're moving in. They're moving into position. Voldros, you can see this happening.
I'm gonna quickly check on Cliff.
Okay.
Just like put him down. Is there anywhere actually? Do I see any like crates I could put him behind or something?
You're kind of just in the open street.
Okay.
Looking for some sort of mini for him.
Okay, I'm just gonna kind of place him down on the ground, quickly check on him, and then take my place in front of him, kind of guarding him.
That sounds fine. You drop Cliff down on the ground. Sorry, you did just say you put him down right there, eh?
Yeah, I'll put him down in the hay, kind of like next to me. Just quickly check his pulse, make sure he's like.
Oh, I got you.
alive.
Okay. Let's get those hay bales out then. Hay bales for traffic, don't you know? All right, you put him out of a pond. As Ix is walking into frame, Mittens on the other side. This guy here, he simply looks. Oh no, this was the archer. Oh yeah, no, this is the archer. Fuck, I thought he was the swordsman. What am I doing? Hello. All right. You know what? I'm gonna swap that guy up there. We'll even make this guy the captain dude. The color dude. There you go. So as I was saying, this guy comes to about here. He'll ogle upon, and seeing the cat, he puts his sword into his shield hand and pulls a crossbow out from his belt. And you can see that he wraps it on his knee for a brief moment, looks at it, and then aims it towards the cat.
Don't love this. Who's the one that said bitches? How far away is he from Mitten?
That'd be this one that's coming towards the bitches.
Duh, bitches.
Is he at least 20 feet away from Mittens?
He is at this point exactly 30 feet away from Mittens.
Okay, so Mittens doesn't notice the guy with the crossbow, unfortunately, because he's really mad because somebody just called his sister a bitch.
That's fine.
And he is going to try to charge that guy, and hopefully succeeds.
So we go into surprise here, and then you're going to do that and initiative. So Mittens explodes across and gets
And
his
he's
attack
going
roll.
to try and do a maul attack.
Okay.
And then if he succeeds, he can do something else. But... Okay, so Alex, it's just a... Sorry, I'm trying to figure out the stats, the Tasha's thing. So just this plus 2?
Yep, D20 plus 2.
As the scene explodes all around you guys, the cat suddenly leaping into action ahead of anybody else's expectation. With all the bestial rage that one would muster.
He was too angry, so he only rolled a 6.
The cat sails forth as the fellow fires his crossbow shot. He strikes into your poor cat friend. Mittens takes 3 + 1 for 4 points of damage from the crossbow and loses his footing as he thrusts forth, stumbling some in the muck and mire as his fangs and claws fail him. He comes just short of his opposition. But pouncing around, managing to stay on his feet, he avoids getting struck for the time being, but everyone else can roll initiative.
Woo! Nat 20!
Ooh, nat 20!
What the heck?
That's a
That's weird. I have a +1 in initiative.
Plus 3. 23.
21. That was weird.
9.
Immediately.
5.
Oh man,
Oh,
these are some.
fucking love to know where the hell. But it is just fucking gone.
More like metal bosa.
It's just fun enough.
I don't know where my spray bottle went.
You don't even need a creaky door sound. You can just open that door.
There, sort of thing.
I'll be right back. I rolled a 5. That's alive.
Love to know where I left that.
I see Grace.
Alright.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Grace is in the library.
She's hiding in the library.
Did I pop up?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It's just your face in the library.
Just taking a quick perusal.
Let's rock and roll. Sorry. Alex, what'd you get? What does Tommy have?
I got a 9.
A 9. That's right. For Tommy. Very good. Whiskers.
No, I like that one. 16.
16 for Whiskers. And the two of you have... Oh, sorry. And then Carver, sir.
5.
5 for Carver. Very nice. And Voldros and Aaliyah.
23.
21.
That'd be the deal.
Shouldn't do good roll. Bad.
Your dungeon will be going on a average, right in the middle with an 11 plus. And with that said, so my phone is stuck in some sort of loop. What's going on? Right on. The cat leaps into action, falling just short as the guard fires off the bolt. At which point, he simply drops it, grabs the sword out of his shield hand, and shouts out, "Stand down, or your cat's dead!"
Ooh.
He threatens for a moment, and then the captain says, "Fuck it, put him down!" At which point he just takes the swing. He's also going to take advantage on the other side of his companion for flanking on your cat. With a 13 plus bonus, he's going to manage to stab in. This guy's using a long sword.
What the fuck is happening?
With a 7 plus 2, the soldier steps in and thrusts down upon poor Mittens. With a quick, Mittens gives out a shout of pain as he takes 9 points of slashing damage from the one side.
I think Alex is looking at me because he's trying to make sure I don't cry.
So, that said, Elia, how are ya?
Clearly there's a lot of tension in the room. I see that he's going against Mittens, and Whiskers is just frozen in terror. So I'm gonna notch my bow and fire as quick as I can at the guy smiting.
Mittens?
That'd be swords in.
Yeah. There it is. 14 plus 7, so 21.
21?
Yeah.
21 will hit.
1.
for 6 points.
For 6 points of damage on, and this is on the guy here who.
The guy that's smiting
Mittens.
Mittens.
Mitten Smiter. Smittens?
Smitten.
Smittens.
6 damage.
Still have-
The arrow sails over the crowd easily, actually across the space. So yeah, literally, you fire across over top the cat, and as it hammers into the fellow's armor, it literally punches out the other side, stapling just under his collar and just over his lung. With that, do you have anything else to declare?
We got you, Mittens. We got you. Yeah.
All right.
Got that.
No bonus.
Declaration.
No, I don't have it. No.
With that said, it is over to Voldros.
All right. So I do have a shield in my inventory. It happens to be like slung to my back. Can I like whip it out and slam it into the ground in front of Cliff? As like a barricade kind of?
And this is a what? A shield?
A shield, yeah.
I mean, I'm down with that. Sure. It'll give him like
Alright.
half cover.
Yeah.
My phone's stuck
I'm
in some sort of
gonna
boot
whip
loop.
it out and kind of just like fling it over my chainmail armor and slam it into the ground in front of Cliff's head, just to protect his vital parts.
All right, sounds good. That happens as you blast it down into the ground. It holds steady where it sits as a defensible bit of cover for the unconscious fat fella.
And then I'll. Can I kneel beside it and take a shot with my crossbow, or?
Yeah, totally. That's fine. Bonus action, standard action, and that's you. I'll assume anyway.
6. I'm pretty sure that misses.
As your shot goes wide, it slams through the building, piercing the last remaining bit of one of the main timbers for one of the floors that was holding the balcony up, and it just collapses. Just collapses. So everybody within 10 feet of the building needs to make a dex save.
Oh, fuck.
And that would be Carver and Whiskers. Lucky you... Oh, Tommy! Tommy, you're there
Yeah.
too. Oh, blessed be. Everyone's getting a chance today. So dex check.
14.
12 or better will do it. So yes, you absolutely do dodge the most of the damage, I should say. I mean, it's halved because I do so love handing out that damage. Don't want to cheat me out after all. You know, I am the DM. So 3 points of Bernie shittiness does rain down upon you. That is halved from 6. So 12 or better to take 3 damage, fail, and take 6. As the balcony crumbles down overhead, the whole of it crashing down in a flaming mess. I really don't have anything appropriate for that, it seems. Oh, there we are. Ish.
So I rolled in an 11, so that's 6, right?
6 points of burning
Okay.
shitty damage. Yes, sir.
Rolled 1, so is that still 6?
Fortunately, yes, it's still 6.
But he's immune, he's
Oh,
immune to damage.
It's
fire
true.
damage.
He is immune to the fire damage, so you know what? We'll go with half of it because there's going to be like debris that's slamming you in the head too. It's not just flaming; it's also shitty.
And
Upon seeing it, I'll just kind of go. Meant to do that, yes. Follow the plan.
Gets it out of the way, don't you know?
And we still haven't had a long rest since our fight with Strosis, right? So we're still
Nope.
at 2 points.
That would be correct, sir.
Okay.
Pretty beat up.
Also, as you think about this, Carver realizes that this was his bedroom. This building had your bedroom in it. So now you're gonna have to find a place to stay to add insult to injury here.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Oh shit! I have totally neglected. Oh, he's gonna go at the same time. Okay, that's fine. So never mind. And that's Voldros. It is over to Whiskers.
Okay. How far away am I from Mittens? Can I make it?
You are like right next to him. You're about 10 feet away.
Okay,
This
so
is you, that's
I am enraged as much as the barbarian can be.
Right, I gotcha.
And let's see.
So you're like diet barbarian right now, like barbarian light.
Yeah, like I'm a ranger barbarian, so whatever
Right.
that kind of elicits in the imagination.
Sure. Yeah.
And just so upset, and I see my brother just like bleeding out. It's horrendous. I have my short swords in my I have like something like a leather kind of sort of like a fanny pack. Can I just pull them both out, or is that an action?
You have sheaths for them.
Yeah,
and,
so
I mean,
can
I'm
I
down
pull
with
them
that.
out?
You can pull them
Okay.
both out. It's fine. It's putting them away
Okay.
that typically costs. And normally you're allowed to do one weapon. You can pull one weapon per turn for free. You know, it's like you can pull it for free. You put it away with a bonus action though.
Okay,
And then-
I'm gonna run over and pull both out.
Yeah, we're fine with that right now.
And
That's cool.
just start slashing at these guards.
Cool. So you pull them out, and you're gonna make 2 rolls this turn, so 1 for each hand. And as you, no, hang on, that would be first off, and run in. Yeah, you're doing the thing, kind of spinning the blades around. It's super fancy, amazing, cool. As you whirlwind the blades around, all fancy. You know, you're doing
So
that.
I don't get my bonus for the second attack, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay, so 21 for the first one,
Hits.
and a nat 20 for my second, because I'm that angry.
All right. Avenging.
Mittens, I'm here for you.
Avenging Mittens as fiercely, as ferociously, as incredibly and heroically as one should. You rush in upon the opposition here and cleave mightily. Roll me damage.
So the
D6 for the first
20
one, and then
was
2d6 for the
4.
second. Cool. And then of course you do get your strength or dexterity bonus for that. It's your call. Whatever's higher, really.
Okay. So 5 plus, and then just this. So 7 for the second one.
Cool. So that was with 2d6.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the first.
Yeah,
so it was
obviously. Fuck.
4 and 7.
Cool. So 11 total. That guy is. That was Smittens that you guys hit with the arrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's toast. As you rush in upon him, you carve against his shoulders and whatnot. He's just like, blood's flying off him all over. Bits of his armor fall off, and then finally, I guess you take his head off, or maybe just cut his throat across. Either way,
I just split from ear to ear.
cool. He dies.
I'm very angry.
Dies terribly. And you're about here now. As this occurs, the spearman in front of Richter stops slightly and adjusts to sight what happens, and then calls out, "They're mean!" and then hoists his shield. "Fellas is down," he says simply. From there, the camera pans across the captain's face as he says, "On him, men! On him fast and hard." At which point, this guy comes rushing forward and thrusts upon Richter. He rolls an 8. Richter riposts with a nat 20.
Oh.
With a quick puree and a cleave, he brings 8 plus 3 points of damage down on the fucker in front. The spear guy, now at 11 points of damage, takes a strong carve against the collar. As you guys hear a crack, Tom, you hear a crack from the guy in front as he's kind of like, ah! Still trying to hold his shield aloft. He brings the spear around to try and defend himself as the captain rushes in upon, and as he brings his blade around, he tries to like golf swing it through you. With a 13 plus 4, does he hit you, Tom, for 17?
Yeah, I got 14.
He hits you with 5 plus 2 for 7 points of slashing damage as he golf swings his blade into you. And as if that wasn't enough, the archer in the background.
So,
yeah.
Sorry, after he hits me there, I'm gonna just fade away.
Okay.
So after I took a point of damage, I can go invisible until the end of my next turn.
That sounds fine. You disappear from view, exploding into nothingness as the strike seems to cause. Richter shouts out, "Where are you going, little?" Ah! He shouts out as an arrow suddenly flies in and strikes into him. He takes what is that? 4 damage. This is on top of whatever damage he had before, actually. Which is, he's not doing good. You guys gave him some potions, but I remember I think he had like 12 hit points left. With that said, he takes the shot, at which point this fellow steps in and takes another swing on the cat. He's going to fail miserably, though. As he does so, your cat dodges out of the way and takes a swipe, roaring at him. He dances backwards. And then looks around frantically as he realizes he may have made poor life choices. Then, from there, the captain shouts out, "I said on them, double time!" At which point, everyone does it again. The spear guy takes another swing. 10 plus bonus is not going to beat Richter as he holds up his shield, and you hear another ricochet of metal as the spear simply dances off the surface. The captain hangs back as the archer fires another shot, but this one with a 6 plus bonus sails just past Tommy and thumps into the ground next to Whisker's feet. And finally, the swordsman fellow, he rolls a 16 plus bonus and carves into the cat. Wrong die.
Oh no.
For 4 plus 2 for 6 more points of slashing damage. Hell-bent on killing the animal. From there, the camera pans against Voldros, where Ix runs forward and fires off in the fellow's face. I need some. I only have the 1 out. Is that for real? I guess so. That's fine. 4, 1, so 5, and then another 2 for 7. And then finally, 9. Oh, actually, 1 more. 9, 10 plus 5. No, it's 9 plus 4. So 13 points of damage that guy's going to take right there. So 13 over here. We'll call him smitten too. The sequel. Right on. So, Ix rushes over towards here in front of Voldros, and without a word, he simply turns and suddenly thrusts with both hands as he fires a series of projectiles out of his fingertips. One after the next, they spatter against the soldier, blasting against his armor, sending sparks and puffs of blood out from his body. The fellow remains standing, but just barely. In fact, he looks like he's on death's doorway just then and there. From there, though, the camera pans to Tom.
So, I'm still invisible, so I'm going to use my movement to try and get myself clear of this and away from the burning building. Kind of towards the hole there, maybe? I can't really see, but...
The hole?
On the third camera, kind of towards those tiles on the right.
Like here?
Yeah.
Like this gap through here?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get out of the melee.
Sure. You back up and out as the fellow takes a swing towards you. As your shimmering disappears, he strikes at the air with a 10 plus 4.
That would hit, but it's until I attack, deal damage, or force someone to make a saving throw. I'm still invisible.
Right, he's still swinging at disadvantage. Hang on a second.
Okay.
Let
Gotcha.
me double check.
Yeah, no, he can. So that would hit it, yeah.
I just want to make sure on invisibility. My phone is just stuck in this endless update reboot loop. So, I don't know. Can't use it to look anything up.
It just says, attack rolls against the creature have disadvantage.
Yeah,
the creature's attack rolls have advantage.
Cool. So as I was saying, he just manages to hit. Taking a slash. Ooh, he skins against where your armor is thickest, conducting 1 + 2 for 3 points of slashing damage.
And then I'm gonna launch a firebolt back at him.
Okay.
So an 18.
That'll hit.
For 3 damage.
Very nice. Takes 3 points. As the frothing blast of flame bursts against him, he gives out a shriek of anger, stumbling backwards as his flaming face has no more hair upon it. Where he had a mustache is now just him patting and causing himself a bloody nose in his agony. But from there, we finally come upon Carver.
All right, Carver, still in his 3-point landing pose, as obviously a lot has gone on since then. He looks over at Voldros and says, "Nice catch." Then he stands up and he looks over at Whiskers and says, "Is Mitten still alive?"
Is Mitten still alive? I'm curious, actually.
Yeah.
Mittens is definitely still alive. He has 6 health. Thank you very much.
Great.
Continues to live.
Thank you, Whiskers. Excellent. And then I'll just say, Tom, who told you that the cliff inside was dead? What's going on here?
The guards told me.
Huh. Interesting. These guards right here who are attacking my friends?
Yeah, yes, these guards.
Huh. Not acceptable.
I don't think they're gods.
Having a bit of a military background myself, I was a military healer a long time ago, before I joined Sanitation Department. I would just like to address the captain.
What went wrong in your life?
I've got a very, very storied past that's big secrets, you know. Lots
Veteran pension just doesn't pay very well.
I'll look at the captain and I will address him and I will say, what kind of man goes against his rank in the name of what? Money? Bribes? Who are you working for? And then I will lash out at the nearest soldier to me with my mighty carver's cleaver of a warhammer. How far away are they, really?
So, the nearest fellow would be this fellow right here. He's on death's doorway. I mean, you want some low-hanging fruit, he's it. The captain is well within reach of you. He's right there.
Okay, I will storm the captain. And I'll try and grapple him for just kind of like keep him alive for questioning. Like how many soldiers, how many bad guys are left? How many bodies?
As you rush in upon him, there's this fellow who's not really here still. He's dead in a moment. There's this fellow, the captain, and that guy.
Okay.
And that's it.
There's 3 bodies?
3.
All right. So then I yell at him, "Who do you work for?" And then I'll swing down my cleaver upon him.
All right. As he goes to answer, you hammer him in the face.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
How hard do you hit him?
I hit him for 23. I assume hits.
That's a pretty damn good hit.
And then I will smack him for a two-handed blow. 10 damage.
For 10 points? Yeah, nice. He gives a heavy oof as you crash the hammer into his chest piece. The whole of it dents in, and he is forced to take a flying step back as the massive swing carries through him. As the massive mallet swings about, Richter stepping just out of the way of it, peering out of your area there. The captain, I mean, he's winded. He's not saying shit.
Who do you work for? Tell me.
I swear, I'm going to kill you, he grunts finally. Anyhow, so he, from a knee, he's gonna say this. I just wanna, spitting blood out, he's gonna say this. So some balls on this guy, but anyhow, from there it's over to, Alia once again.
I think the captain is the most of our worries at this point. Everybody else seems like they'd stop if he was done, so I'm gonna, how far am I from him?
You're not far. You're like, I think you're actually, yeah, you're about 20 feet away, it looks. 20 feet? Yeah, 20 feet. If you want to get to the other side, you can run past him to the other side, flanking. Yeah, you have the run speed to do it.
Do I have to put away my longbow?
You could just drop it. I mean, you know, just dropping your gear is probably not the best thing for it, but you have that option.
Yeah. Can it be a bonus action, or can I do anything after I put it away?
No, you can. Yeah, you can attack. You want to attack with your sword?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, you can run up to him and attack him with your sword.
And put away the bow?
Or just drop him in the bow.
I don't need to.
You can put away your bow and then dash towards him. Because with the dash, you get an attack.
I'll just drop my bow for now and make a mental note to go and get it and pull out my short swords, close the distance, and just kind of finish him. Yeah, from behind, I guess.
He's gonna finish him from behind.
Are we doing phrasing?
Probably should be.
You rush over towards the other side, grabbing the hold of your blade as you do so. What did you do with your bow? Do you want?
I just dropped it for now.
You can just put it away. It just takes a bonus
okay,
action.
well then I'll just put it away.
It takes a bonus action to put the weapon away. Is all it is. So.
Oh, okay.
If you have the bonus action to spare, you can.
Yeah, I'll use the bonus action and then just put it away.
Cool. So with that said, you rush over towards the other side of the fellow, coming about with your blade in hand. You swing and smash into him, I'm assuming. You rolled to hit.
Yeah, a mace and a short sword.
Oh, it's a mace? Okay.
No, it's Okay, well then I might as well just I'll wield both. So I have my mace in one hand and my short sword in the other. So my short sword hits for 19.
Okay.
And my mace is only 8.
It's gonna miss. But your short sword smokes him.
Smokes him and does 5 points of damage.
5 points, very nice. He wavers back from the strike, stumbling as he does, shouting in pain, but yet still alive. And with that, I guess that's Aaliyah, yeah? As you smash into him a couple times from the other side, facing off opposite Carver, the captain is looking frantically back and forth, the spear checker holding his massive shield ever expertly, although with the odds against them as such, it's the realization is dawning on them that they may have to retreat or die. Voldros, the camera sweeps about to show you down below next to your old patriarch, as Cliff sits in the hay next to you. You point out towards your opposition. What do you do?
I'll before I do anything, I'll yell out to the attackers. Drop your weapons and surrender. If you know what's good for you.
The one fellow looks over towards the captain. The captain looks around for a moment. At which point, the captain says, "Every man for himself." Simple as that.
That's it? Okay. Okay. And then I'll just kind of mumble under my breath, have it your way. And I'll take another shot with my crossbow. I'll be shooting at the one guard that's on death's door, not the captain, but the other one.
Okay.
I got a 7.
As the bolt flies away, it lands somewhere in the distance. You're not sure where. Anything else? That's right. Okay.
That's
The captain looks.
pretend like nothing happened.
The captain continues to look towards Carver and then back at Aaliyah, frantically expecting the next strike. As Whiskers, the camera sweeps around to show you.
So I'm going to use my bonus action to get Mittens to safety. So I want Mittens to move kind of like behind where Tom is hiding.
Okay.
So Mittens is out of the way.
Mittens does so, and the guard next to him takes an attack of opportunity.
Oh shit.
He rolls a 2 and swings at the air. Mittens quickly dodges
Forgot
away,
about that.
running into the flaming wreckage nearby the building. That is a flaming wreckage all to itself. And that said...
okay, so just to be clear, I want him to go to safety, not to flaming wreckage.
Well, Tom's hiding out in a rather dangerous place, but he's hiding out there.
Okay, so maybe it's hard to see. He just goes out of like reach.
He can come hang out with me behind the shield.
Yeah, that sounds like
Done.
a great idea.
Cool. He gets in behind where Ix and Voldros are.
Okay, and then I don't actually know who's around me.
Well, damn.
I want to attack like the closest person to me.
My phone's saying that it has to recover. Shit. That sucks. Try again, I guess. Shit. Sorry, where are we?
I just want to attack whoever's nearby me. I don't know if that's the person that's close to death or not.
That is totally the low-hanging fruit, fella.
Okay, so I only have one attack then.
Make it
A
count.
9.
Sorry, 9?
Yeah.
Don't forget you guys can give each other inspiration, eh?
Does anybody?
I'll put some inspiration.
Thanks,
Done.
Carver.
You betcha. Mittens.
As the
Whew, okay, that's
As
better.
the shot
That's
lines
24.
up, it lowers in behind and shows Carver giving you the fist pump of Bahamut. Or something to that effect. I don't know.
I return it with a fist bump of my own into the air as I have a 24.
With teamwork like that, the arrow flies true. With that said, roll me some damage. I'm just kidding. I don't give a shit. He's dead. He's literally got 2 hit points. I think you're gonna. You can roll it if you want. I think your bonus covers that.
Yeah, it would. I have a 3
Point being,
bonus.
it flies away. Huzzah! The fellow dies. As the arrow punches through his face, he falls backwards and lands in the dirt in a rattle and dust cloud, dead. Oh yeah. As the camera pulls back to show the whole of the battle scene, you in the midst of it, it then zips in upon the few remaining opposition. I'm assuming that was you. Did you have anything else to declare?
No, that's it.
Right on. The spearman thrusts forth and then backs up as best he can. Richter quickly smacks the javelin out of the way as the captain shouts out, "Pull back!" And then, oh sorry, what am I rolling for there? Oh yeah, no, the archer. What am I saying? Pull back to the people. The fellow does so after he takes the one shot. He disengages from within you guys, and then starts to move off. What was that, 30 feet? Rushing backwards as he does. This guy takes a shot in towards. Does he? Actually, he does not. But the captain will disengage himself and move out from within you guys 30 feet, pulling back to here. As that happens, this guy moves back 30 feet as well. 30 feet as well. With the arrows at the ready, Captain says, Captain doesn't say anything actually. He just moves back and he says, "Move together then!" As they continue to move backwards as such. Retreating down the street with the longbowmen behind them, holding a shot at the ready. With that said, that's my turn there. Ix turns his attention towards Cliff, and Richter looks at Carver and simply says, "Really now, cowards? Are we to pursue them, or are we going to let them go?"
Would the captain retreating provoke an attack of opportunity?
He was disengaging, so if you have Sentinel, you can still hit him. But if you don't, unfortunately, you're going to have to let him go.
Okay. Indeed.
Now, they are still within 30 feet, so Richter is consulting you for the moment.
What do you think, Richter? After one of them?
He simply says to you, "By your lead, Carver."
After the cowards, let's get one for questioning.
He readies his action to run in with you, and with that, it's over to Tom.
So I am going to shoot a firebolt at the fleeing captain.
You burst
Because
from
he
cover.
lied to me.
You burst from cover and rush forth to get a line of sight on him and fire away.
With a 9.
It's gonna miss. As the firebolt sails off into the distance, you guys see for a moment the bolt that Vultures fired earlier. That it hits and then lights up on fire. So there it was. You found it. That said, though, you rush forth and fire away. It misses, unfortunately. From there, though...
That's it for me.
Oh, it's okay. Fair enough. From there, over to Carver.
All right, Richter, charge.
Do you guys hold arms as you do, like Red Rover or something? The camera pans again to show you guys suddenly rush in upon the captain. The captain kind of shrieks like a schoolgirl as you close the distance.
Take him down, keep him alive.
As you close the distance, did you want to are you gonna try to subdue and knock him out? He's taking a lot of damage, so if you
yeah. And as soon as we can stay, I want to try and grab him, take him on the ground, maybe trying to bludgeon him a little bit, knock him out, but keep him alive.
Yeah, if you hit him with subdual damage, it adds to his current damage and can potentially just knock him out.
Okay, perfect. Let's do that.
All right. So go ahead and roll me a hit.
$16.
You smoke him. Just perfectly so.
Did you get him with the backhand and call him a bitch?
Well, I'm assuming like the flat of your blade or something like that, or maybe you flip the blade around and you just smash him with the hammer. It's your fucking hammer. I keep forgetting. So you probably just running in there and giving him a light love tap, and rather than a full swing.
Yeah. It's gonna bludgeon him a little bit.
All right. So let's hear about it.
You don't hear about it. Okay, well, as Richter and I storm in there.
Also, how much damage are you doing?
Oh, well, however much I can without hurting him, I will do... I will do... 11 damage, but not like all of it, just enough to kind of knock him out.
No, that's all good. Subdual damage, like I say, it's just meant to knock out. So you can do all the subdual damage in the world, still just gonna knock him out. Eventually he might lose basic reading or some addition or something like that, but otherwise he's okay.
Doesn't kill him, just CTE.
Yeah, little trauma never killed anyone. Hurt and permanently damaged, but it didn't kill anyone. Anyway, so you smash. You smash into him. Sorry, you were going to tell me about how you do this. Tell me about your takedown.
Richter goes in there, sweeps the feet. I go in there, jump in the air, and I smack the gold pommel of my blade into his helmet or whatever he's wearing, into his skull. I don't care. Knocking him out. Big pile of dust. And then as I work my way up, I pick him up and throw him over my shoulder.
As you heft and hoist, after taking him down, the other fellow across, Richter simply gives him a shove. Get the fuck out, gone. Go on, fucking cowards. You're nothing but thieves and brigands set up in whatever fancy armor. That guy simply backs up. Seeing what's happened there's no intimidation roll necessary. The fellow with the arrow, he just fucking starts to run. The other fellow turns and follows after him.
All right, I'll turn around and say, "Who's up for a beer?"
The camera pans low against you guys for the moment, as it does so, looking down into the dark muck-ridden street. It then suddenly lowers down to the starry sky, showing the reflections of the flames in the muck of the street. The reflections become the stars of the sky as it pans down to show the city from overhead, and you can see this little bit of a flaming point amidst so many various illuminated windows and doorways and whatnot. People moving about, conducting their business and affairs. Despite whatever's happened out in the middle of Waterdeep, all of Waterdeep around you continues to do as it will. As the camera slowly crossfades, it shows the horizon of a few buildings, and then the open doorway of a tavern. This particular establishment. Hey, my phone booted. Sweet. I just realized as I picked it up and it's still okay. But unfortunately, it's still going to be a moment loading, so we're going to have to conduct this on the browser while I quickly look up my tavern name. Are we okay? Don't explode, please. Still okay? Alright. Hey.
Who else is hungry?
I think we need to go find a place to hide and figure this out.
Lay low. Hopefully we know some tavern owners or something in the area. We can kind of bring in this guard and like throw in our room and tie him up.
Does the tavern look like it might also be an inn?
Yeah, exactly. The tavern inn. So our local tavern inn combo. We gotta go there.
The one that cares the least about kidnapping.
Well, dude,
or just knows us, like we're regulars there.
I mean, this place, we obviously in a surly neighborhood, so, you know, the cops, whatever, the guards don't care, so people are dying, they're lying. The fire department doesn't show up, so obviously...
Yeah, we're in a great neighborhood.
You guys head out of...
During the conversation, I bring up my time at a tavern/inn that I know to be called the Diplomat. And,
So, I wanted to say... This place, you guys are situated in it, grabbing a meal at the moment. It does have rooms. The place is called the Rusted Gauntlet. And there's a bartender behind the bar in the classic sense, and your classic serving wench making the rounds. Sorry, I just wanted to get that established for you, Cody, there. So that's where you guys are. But what did you want to say there about it? What did you want to do within it?
Oh, I was just gonna say that it's like a place that I've been to that I thought would be a good place to go to. It's kind of discreet. And,
fair enough. Okay. It in fact is. While it is on the high road, one of the main roads of Waterdeep, it is just tucked with a side entryway, so you wouldn't even know it was there if you weren't looking for it. Kind of hidden out in plain sight, if you will. But the Rusted Gauntlet is a not so well-known tavern that is used by all sorts of folks looking to lay low in town. Most travelers, like I say, they wouldn't know that it was an inn, but they do in fact have a couple retrofitted rooms in the attic space of the building that they occupy. The proprietor here is a fellow by the name of Paul Carradine. And he's been taking care of the place for, you're not sure, however long, but he does seem to take it fairly seriously. There is a bit of hired muscle that acts as bouncer to the place. A rather large, rotund fellow by the name of Remy. There's rumors that he's half ogre. He certainly looks it in the face, but he's polite enough most of the time. That is to say that he doesn't punch you instead of greet you. He greets you, and then he'll punch you. But in all seriousness, the joke around the place is if Remy has a reason to say hello, he has a reason to punch you. So, perfect bouncer. So you guys are, as far as meal goes, I mean, the place is serving a fairly simple stew. A bit of pork floating around in it. Stew set you back a gold piece for everybody's servings. It basically just came out to you in a big pot, and you guys ladle out of it. It's hearty, it's hitting the spot. And what'd you guys do with Cliff and the captain?
So before we got the food, I went to talk to the bartender to inquire about getting a room.
Mm-hmm.
And then, if possible, if there was like a back way up, we wanted to put the guard and Cliff in the room.
Okay, that's fine. So that happened. There's a quick montage of it as you enter upon the building, discuss this with, and then of course hike Cliff up the steps at the back. There's kind of like a fire escape, basically doing switchbacks up to the attic space. And so you guys have Cliff situated up there. How about the captain?
I mean, I'm partial to tie him up and bring him up there too. Does anybody else oppose?
Gag him, bring him up there. We'll kind of cover him in like whatever towel. Instead of our friends had too much to drink, so we're gonna put him down.
Okay, fair enough.
I think while we're up there, I'm gonna give Cliff my last healing potion.
Okay. You do so. It soothes him in such a fashion that he actually comes about. His wound magically on his head there, it's already more or less closed, but you watch as the skin kind of bloop bumps out, so it's smoothed over, and it's almost like there's no wound. A moment later, the scabrous bits of blood fall away, powdered. His one eye kind of just draws open, as if a little hand just picked it up, and he stares at you with a bleary red eye, and you're watching as the potion continues to work its magic, counteracting the blown blood vessels in that eyeball as it clears up, returning back to a somewhat a white and brown eyeball staring at you.
I ask him, Cliff, are you okay? Why are the guards after us?
He looks around. Where am I?
We're safe. We're at the
He clambers around
the
for a
rusted
moment,
Gauntlet.
rolls over and pops, puking on the floor. And then looks up towards you. The rusted Gauntlet. What of the department?
It's gone.
It's gone. It's gone.
He leans back in his bed and stares ahead at you. Just as well, I suppose. What of those that attacked us?
We're not sure. We were accosted by the city guard outside, and we got one of them, but I don't know if it's the ones who attacked you.
I don't believe they're city guard. Oh. I'll be all right. Thank you. Thank you.
I'll go over to the bedside and hand him his keys and his cash box.
Of all the... This is what you saved. He takes the keys and he turns the key on the lockbox. One of the keys on the ring actually fits the lockbox, and he snaps it open. And you see inside, there's a bunch of coinage for sure, a couple parchments, notes, and a bunch of bric-a-brac. And that is to say, there's a bunch of rings in there. And he pulls out the rings, and he holds them aloft, and he closes the box as he holds the rings forth. And as you look on them, you realize they're Waterdeep Sanitation Department rings. They said, I had fashioned these for your return. Rather bittersweet,
You
really.
didn't think I would let him get away without paying us?
No, of course not.
No, I smirked at him in like a sarcastic manner.
He doesn't get it at first, and then he just gives himself a shake, and he looks up at you, and then offers the rings forth. But I have these now. We can hit the bank later.
All right.
I pull out of my pocket that little leather strip with the family like crest on it, and I show it to Cliff. I go, Cliff, this was on the person in your office with you. Who was that? Did he attack you?
He looks upon the crest and simply says, the Castellanters. Now, Richter and Ix are over kind of fly on the wall at this point, and Ix simply says, the Castellanters? That's who those guards worked for, is it? And the camera pans against Cliff, who looks upon the crest that you're holding. Is that where you acquired that? Is from one of the family members?
I don't know, Cliff. It was the man in your office. I've never seen him before.
He screws up his face for a moment. I'm sorry, I don't quite remember what happened in my office. And he just kind of feels his head where he was struck, where the wound was, checking his hand to be sure. And he says, perhaps my memories will come to me in time. And he gives himself a shake and kind of like lolls backwards. Richter, at which point, simply gives a well, that's no good for us. I must return to my clergyman. I must return to my church. And he gives a stiff up and down kind of salute on the spot. And he says, it has been an honor to serve with you in this adventure. I return and should hope to see you, any or all of you, at some point in the near future again. Should you need assistance in this matter, please don't be afraid to darken my step.
I doubt this will be the end of our problems with Strosis.
He gives a nod at this. Yes. I will be putting together a He gives a simple sigh. I'm not sure, really. We have no leads directing us to his location. And as the camera pans against this, his face, he looks up for a moment as Cliff coughs and says, well, you see, we may. And Richter gives a shake to denote he doesn't understand, and Cliff continues, saying, I have people who know where he might be. He says simply. And as Richter raises an eyebrow at this, Ix simply draws his breath in and says, you're the fellow on the tapestries. You're them. You're those hunters seeking him out. You're them. And the camera pans against Cliff, who, exhausted, depleted, drained, battered, simply gives a slow nod at this. I had to pass the torch, eventually. And he weakly makes a gesture towards all of you and says, you're it now. You're all that is of what was the Sanitation Department. He says simply. Richter gives a slow nod at this, seeming to come to some understanding as the camera pans against him to show the lot of you. Does anybody say anything? Do anything?
I think I turn to Richter and I say, thank you for your help down there. Can you keep quiet where we are?
I shan't breathe a word of this.
Thank you. Safe travels.
He gives a nod. And he says, if there is a chance that you know where Strosis is, I wish to know immediately. But I'll not pressure this information of you now. Better you bring it to me. I'll expect to hear from you, any of you, in the near future.
We'll make sure you know.
Do so, he simply says. You note that his mood has shifted considerably. That in this moment, having learned that Cliff might be able to direct him to Strosis, that Richter seems very, very, very intrigued, very interested, very motivated to get that information. Very obviously wanting to know that information, but is playing it cool, as cool as he can. And as he simply backs up towards the doorway and one more salute, he turns about and exits the room. Ix, with his nails in his mouth, looks over towards the lot of you. Well, now what?
I need to go have something to eat, and then we need to sleep. I think we've been in the sewers for days.
And from
Months, it feels like.
there, the camera crossfades to everybody nodding, pans against all your companions nodding their agreement and approval, and crossfades from that to the scene shown earlier with the stew pot, the massive bowl of stew in front of you guys as you guys are ladling, and it's a simple pork and vegetable stew, hearty, thick, warm, and fantastically bland. Not too spicy, not too anything. It just is.
I'll I pull
pass
it.
those ring that Cliff gave us. Can I pass them around to each member?
Yep. Everybody's got a silver ring that has the whatchamacallit there, the crest of the Waterdeep Sanitation Department, which is a simple mercenary crest upon it. And as they're handed out, the silver ring is it's actually worth about 5 gold. So yeah.
No, it's priceless.
Ah, yes, of course. Let's face it. It really is.
We've earned these rings.
Oh yeah.
I'll I pull a gold from our bag of holding to pay for the stew.
Okay. What did I say? It was a gold piece for the stew.
Yeah.
Did we notice anything?
Sorry?
Do we notice anything special about these rings other than the sentimentality?
To be honest, no. It's really it's decent work. It's not really fancy by any stretch. It's not the best that you've seen. It looks like they were made to order though. As each one does have your name upon it. So it's not just it's got the I should mention it's got the crest and then your name etched on the band.
Like our Super Bowl rings.
Pretty much.
So it's just a simple ring of what you do. It depicts you as a merc. So you might say a licensed adventurer within Waterdeep's jurisdiction.
Perfect. Okay.
With that, like I say, the camera pans against you guys conducting yourselves over a meal. Ix along with you. Your cat nearby, licking its bandages and hating the bandages and scratching at the bandages, doing its best to contend with the bandages. And then it shows you like fixing them, the bandages, and giving them a head rub, and then the cat purring before it goes right back to pulling the bandages off itself. Other than that, is there anything that you guys do before retiring for the evening?
Anybody want to interrogate a captain, or are we going to sleep on it?
Yeah. I'll go interrogate a captain.
So, what kind of interrogation are we doing? Like Reservoir Dogs, like Office Space, like Guantanamo Bay?
Good cop, bad.
Okay, you guys. I'm trying to think of like Lethal Weapon, you know. But that's cool. All right. So let's hear about it.
Is Carver there with me, or is
You guys tell me. I mean, you guys are totally free to do it however you like. Whatever which way makes sense.
I stay eating, and I ladle up a bowl and I give it to Mittens, and I see, I don't go up.
Okay.
All right, I'll join Carver.
Aaliyah, Tom? Coming?
No, I'm hungry, man. We hungry.
I don't think it's in Tom's nature.
Fair enough. All right, Voldros and I head up to the room where we have the captain tied to a chair.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And we'll slap him awake. Ask him what his name is.
Okay. You guys enter in upon the room as the door opens up and you guys walk in. Ix follows in with you guys.
If you don't mind, Master, I'll stay close. If you're going to torture somebody, I want to watch it. It'll remind me of home.
No problem, Mix. I will come to you should I require any tips on how to execute
If you need someone to put blades under the fingernails, it's a personal passion.
He simply sits on the bed, putting up a leg and eagerly anticipating what happens as the captain fellow's just kind of slumped over, like you said, tied to a chair. As you he looks up at you.
Hey, buddy. Welcome back.
Wake up, bitch.
Long time. How's your head?
He spits out a tooth. Fuck you. He finally focuses himself. You can see that he can finally see straight. And he stares up at the two of you. What is this?
Well, this is a little Q&A session.
What do you...
We ask a question, and you answer us.
He looks around the room. Is this the same room with Cliff in it? Is this like your bed chambers?
Yeah.
Did you rent a different room for that? Did you guys just like rent out the floor? Is that what's happening?
I'd like different room, like, you know, off the side.
Okay.
Listening.
That's fine. So
Just
different
how the-
room. Just you guys. Nothing else in here. In fact, you know what? They said that they had a storage room for rent, so there's not even any furniture in here. How's that sound? Save for the chair.
Yeah.
So long and the short, though. Do you have him gagged?
We had him gagged. Yeah,
You had him gagged. Okay.
Yeah.
Having taken the gag off, he looks around. What's to stop me from screaming for help?
My hand on your throat.
He gives a nod at this. What is it you're after?
Answers.
Let's hear your questions.
Who told you not to rescue anybody in the burning house?
What makes you think that it was our job to rescue them in the first place?
You had no business to be there otherwise. Either you're making sure people weren't going in, or is your job to make sure no one came out? Which was it?
He gives a slow nod at this. And he says, we were just in the neighborhood.
Alright, I'll give him a friendly backhand.
Okay. He sputters a bunch of blood and lets his head hang for a moment before he lifts it up proudly. Just out for a stroll.
What's your name, good captain? What should we call you?
Reese.
Reese?
Reese.
Captain Reese.
Captain Reese, yes, very strong name, yes.
Well, Captain Reese, on what orders were you to attack us for saving people in the burning building? Was that just part of your daily stroll?
I don't like shit disturbers. And it seemed like you're the sort to disturb lots of shit. Tell me I'm wrong.
Well, if you mean by saving lives, then I guess yes, we're the biggest shit disturbers there are. As a paladin and a man of my cloth and my faith, of the Lord Bahamut, I cannot let a man simply burn alive. I'm surprised you could either, as your oath to the military and your guard ranks you above that as a captain who must know his place.
He gives a steady nod as you're talking.
So, either you start telling us the truth, or also finding ways to make you spill it.
He looks over towards you and he says, if you're so concerned of truths, why is it that you're living in such darkness yourselves? He looks around. Nobody knows. Nobody knows who the head of that place really is. Is. Excuse me. Tom Stu. As I was saying, thank you. He says, nobody knows who the boss of that place really was. Best kept little secret on that side of Waterdeep. He, kind of just wavers for a moment having said that, and then looks at you. And says, my job was to see to it somebody else's work stayed their handiwork. You got in the way of that. We didn't do anything, but we wasn't about to let you just undo whatever was done, you see. As for who we do what we do for, well, there's a lot of assumption coming from you in there. You haven't inspected anything about me, huh? And he simply looks at you, having said that, as you look him up and down out of instinct. And as you do so, while he is dressed in city guard's garb, you can see that he's got stuff on underneath, not like another suit of armor or anything. But he does have stuff on underneath his armor. Looks like rather fine clothes, actually.
I'll stick my sword to his chest and kind of cut the latches that hold the armor together in the middle. I'm assuming there's something there.
There is, yep. The plate simply flops down, revealing a rather fine tunic that has a simple crest over his heart. And you can see the stylized C with the crest that has a couple icons within it. You recognize it as that one that Aaliyah was flashing about earlier. That leather, that Whiskers was flashing around earlier. My bad. The leather crest that you saw.
Cast the lantern.
You've heard of them, he simply says.
Yes, we have. We've heard thing.
Of course you have.
Are you a family member?
Ha. Close enough, I suppose.
Now, I'll ask Cliff what he makes of all this.
So you're gonna leave the room to discuss this?
One of us should probably stay.
So you're gonna bring Cliff in?
Yeah, so I'll leave Voldus in the room and I'll grab Cliff and bring him back in.
Alright. You rouse Cliff and he follows in with you. Coming into the chamber.
Well,
Yeah? What?
while he was gone, I tied the gag back over the captain's mouth.
Okay.
Tear off nails.
Is that really not that? This isn't necessary. This is so unbecoming.
Maybe this will loosen his lips.
It's ironic you should say that. We're putting a gag in my mouth. As the camera pans against to show Cliff walking in with Carver, Carver points towards and Cliff gives a nod and walks in towards him. Casalanters. This is awful if such a family is involved. I had reports, but I did not know that it went so. Impersonating the city guard, simply to burn down my establishment. This is not... I should have seen this coming. How has Strocius managed to reach such heights? And the guard, bleeding from his face and with scale scrapes across his face, where Carver's backhanded him, and his scales, they're like fucking knives gouging out his face like a cheese grater. The fella just looks ugly as fuck as he rolls over and says, "How should I know? If I were so smart, I wouldn't be tied up. My face dripping, my fluids. Just end me," he simply says as he leans forward.
Cliff, what would you do with this man?
If he's wearing a crest, there's a chance he's valuable enough. Not sure if they'd pay anything for him. If they'd want him back. He looks him up and down. And as he walks over towards him, looking him over further, I don't recognize him. I don't recognize you at all. He turns away and walks back towards you, and says, "I need my beauty rest, and then I will see to it that we have Strocius' latest location." And the guard simply scoffs. "Strocius? Ha! You seek to what? Put an end to him? To kill the unkillable?" And Cliff simply raises a finger. "He's not unkillable. He's simply flesh and blood. And he's managed to unearth some secrets, perhaps, but he's no god. He's no deity. He's just a man, and I'll crush him yet. We'll crush him. Down back into the soil." The guard simply gives a guffaw. "If that could have been done, don't you think the Casalanters would have done it already? He's a cancer. He'll infect even yours. Just as he's busily infecting this city." He just sits there staring, doe-eyed as he is, listlessly letting his head loll about.
Castellanters don't like Strocius either.
Ha! Supposing I've said too much.
Why try and kill Cliff and his sanitation department? Why burn our home?
Same reason we do anything we don't have a choice about. Just who's to say what that reason is?
We need someone to talk to in the organization, someone higher up than you.
Yes, you do, he says simply. But my life is forfeit.
Life's already full. Give us a name. Are you ready for the
Okay, thank you guys. Okay, cool, thank you. It's full of glass in here. No, get out of there. Dude. No shoes at all. I've broken so many glasses in here. My God, I've yet to vacuum it. No, the weekend was bad, actually. But, anyway. Where was I? Yeah. He listlessly lolls his head about. He seems to be exceptionally melancholy. The captain of the guard is. But as the camera pans against you guys, Ix simply pipes up.
What do we do then? Do we just wait for Cliff? What do we do with him?
The Castle Lantern uniform worth anything? Would be able to get anywhere with that? Or any point in taking it?
Ix walks forward towards him and with his long, spindly fingers, starts to undo the armor on the Castle Lantern captain and runs a hand across the tunic.
Ooh, it's velvet silk.
And then he grabs the fellow by his chin and says,
You've had it good, haven't you? And now, how do you feel? Do you feel it's been worth it?
The camera pans against you guys watching Ix do this. Do you say anything? Do anything? Do you stop him?
I'll just smirk. That's it.
I'll tell Ix to grab his tunic. Take his tunic off of him.
Okay. There's a short, brief montage of Ix stripping the guy down violently and then ripping the tunic off him. At one point, the guy resists slightly, and Ix simply puts a bunch of magic missiles in his legs. Slowly but surely, the fellow is put back on the chair after being stripped down. He's now in more or less his skivvies, his armor in a heap, broken and ripped apart next to him. And Ix has the tunic, at which point he snaps his fingers, puts a bit of prestidigitation down, and cleans it of any blood and whatnot. He then offers it up, folded.
For you, master.
Thank you very much. I will take the garment and set them aside.
Okay.
I'll use one kind of one last chance intimidation check to see if I can get any kind of information out of him that might be useful. I'll threaten him, just say that, if you don't cough up or confess, my gladiatorial friend here who used to kill for sport in the arena will drag you out back and rid you of your ever-burgeoning soul.
He gives the nod at this, and after a moment of consideration, he finally says, If you're truly hell's bent on infiltrating the Castellanters. He gives a sigh after a moment and says, You'll want to approach Leopold's family. As my understanding is, they're the ones most in league with atrocious doings.
It's Leopold Castellanter.
He gives a slow nod as bits of him drip off his face.
All right. Any last questions, Voldros? I'm getting tired, and this man has lost his use.
Yes, the only thing I have to ask is what now? Do you have any children, Captain Reese?
He gives
Any
a slow
family?
nod at this. The camera pans against you in your hesitancy, and it shows Ix behind with a knife already in hand, and he's got kind of a look on his face, clearly an eager beaver.
All right. We'll just threaten him and say, this man is more than eager to cut you and your family. So remember that. And what you say about us when you leave here. Make like you speak.
He stares ahead for a moment and then looks at you. I don't think you understand. I said before, my life is forfeit.
Oh.
They will kill you for your failures. Is that what you're saying?
He just stares ahead and says, perhaps there's a chance. And he jostles about for a moment and then leans forward. If there's a chance, know that you'll not hear or see me again.
Any chance is better than no chance.
And he gives us another slow nod at this. Do you guys let him go?
I'm okay with letting him go.
Perhaps we can arrange his escape. Let his family know that where he's heading. Give him a chance to get away.
What's your name?
So you guys gonna try to help him and his family get away from the city or something?
Yeah. Because obviously they're gonna have eyes on his family stuff, so.
Okay.
They're gonna know where he's located.
Right, we told them to go and find some other family in the country somewhere.
Alright. There's a montage of you guys undoing his bonds, throwing him some basic clothes. He gets himself dressed, and you guys pick through the streets towards this place. Who's going on the little adventure to help secure his family?
I just kind of thought I was going to do it on his own. I didn't think he needed us to
Oh,
go.
no. I was thinking you were saying you were going to. That's fine. If you're just letting him go, that's fine. He'll figure it out.
He's an adult. I'm sure he'll figure it out. Yes. I'm kind of tired. Yeah.
All right.
Belly full of stew. Time for a nap.
Right.
My eyes are getting heavy. I'm out of healing points.
I was gonna suggest Ix dropping off like a piece of mail with like the letter or something saying where he's gonna be.
I don't quite follow, to be quite honest. I don't get what you mean there.
Like have like a rendezvous, like meet me at the back gate at like 8 p.m. or something.
Oh, okay. The fellow says, as you guys take off his bonds, he says, "Don't worry about me and mine. You sparing my life will be enough. Thanks."
You need money or anything, Captain Reese? Need some gold?
He simply raises an eyebrow and then kind of gestures at the clothes that he's wearing, and then gestures at the pile of his armor, gives a shake, and then starts to walk. And before he does, he reaches over into his armor pile. He grabs a dagger out of it and slips it into the boot. And then gives a nod at you fellows and heads for the door.
Well, hopefully we won't be seeing you. Are you?
If the gods are willing, you'll never again see me now. And he disappears through the door.
I think that went very rather well, don't you, Wilbus?
I was about 3 seconds from stabbing him with a crossbow bolt through the throat, but yes.
Excellent. Well, shall we retire for the evening?
I think so. I think a rest is well deserved after all this.
Clean sheets and a nice straw mattress would be hit the spot just right.
I agree.
I'll make my way to my room and take off my armor and go to sleep.
That sounds good. There's a brief montage of you guys bedding down and crashing out. And with that, the camera picks high over Waterdeep, showing the sun rising as the credits roll. And so it is. Alex, what'd you like? What'd you hate? What's prefer? What's least?
I like that we got out. It feels like we'll have a lot of choices in the next session, and that's always interesting. And it was a nice kind of epilogue to what we've been doing for almost a year now.
Right?
Or interlude, I guess, would maybe hopefully be a better word choice.
Fair enough. Glad to hear it too, actually. Oh my god. Why am I gapping so fucking hard? Shit, I'm totally gapping on your name for some fucking reason. I can't remember it in my life. Holy shit. I keep thinking Whiskers. Sorry.
Oh, great.
Hi,
Grace.
how you doing, Grace? Oh my god.
I am Whiskers, that's why. I just embody her so well.
Yeah, right, eh? Sorry about that. Anyhow, Grace, would you like, what you hate, what's least?
I really like that we're out of the sewer. Like, I like that I know, right? Different feels, especially like having like the burning building and the little fight with the guards. I just like that you could kind of go different directions. Like we're not just all stuck in the sewer, and like we have to fight whatever.
Do you go down the hall or not?
Exactly.
Yeah, I totally get that.
I like that we made it to like a tavern, and like it'll be nice to kind of have more maybe like interactions with people that way. Because in the sewer it was mostly like fights.
Do you kill it,
so I really
or do
like
you
that.
not kill it?
Exactly.
Really.
I had a really hard time seeing just the way that I have my screen, so I think I'll have to do something different next time. So,
fair.
But other than that, I'm just happy that we actually got a session in again after all this time.
Huzzah!
Yeah.
Well, right on. Oh my god, I'm doing it again. Holy shit, Carver. Hi, how are you, Mr. McTavish? Trevor. Sir, what's going on, buddy? What'd you like? What'd you hate? What's the least?
Well, I'll start off with what I did like. I didn't like not being able to like touch the figures and like in the dampness of like the soil and like smelling that, and I didn't like being able to feel the heat off the burning building. You know, like you lit on fire.
Yeah, no doubt. Fair enough. Actually, it's very warm. It was very warm. I want you to know.
Warm and awesome. What I did like, I just like, like everyone's saying, yay, the sunlight. We just saw like the sunset over Waterdeep, which is fantastic. You know, some fresh air. I thought we were gonna die there because we've been fighting for like the last 2 or 3 sessions, and we're starting with another fight. I'm like, oh god, like we're all hit points. I'm like, how's this gonna go? And I thought Mittens was gonna bite it. I was like, no, don't kill Mittens, it's my buddy. And I was scared there for a bit, but once you got things under control, it's kind of good. There's like many things happening behind the scenes, right? So I like that element of it. You know, there's things and there's underlying things which I really like. So that was kind of what I liked a lot.
I don't know.
And a long rest. I love long.
The long rest, yeah, the first long rest you've had in a year.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cody, what'd you like? What'd you hate? What's your what's least?
I mean, obviously, as everybody's mentioned, it's not the same as real life, but it's something, right? So, still appreciate it for what it is.
From my bubble to yours.
The sound and everything was really clear tonight. It was really like I found it easier to navigate. I wasn't trying to strain to hear you or anything, so all that was on point.
Cool.
What I liked was kind of like that Cliff was actually alive, and that like I don't know what he's gonna add to the story now. Sounds like he's not just the guy that runs the sanitation department.
That the sanitation department actually is a lot more than meets the eye too.
Yeah, kind of feeling like that's just kind of a cover for some other guild of sorts. So, yeah, I like that, and interested in the story of the Castellanthers and what they're involved in all this. Yeah, just interested to see where the next chapter takes us. You know, it feels like the closing of a chapter kind of thing.
Very much so. Very much so. We're done. Aaron, would you like? It was deceased.
I'm honestly just happy to kind of like get back to it. It's been so long, and we were all doing so well for so long. It's kind of nice to like start to get back there, you know.
Fair enough.
Yeah, like everybody said, it's not real life, so it is a little like getting used to for sure. But you know, you gotta make lemons out of lemonade or lemonade out of lemons. So, yeah, but I like that we're out of the sewers and we can kind of start to make different choices rather than just fighting. We can start building storylines and things, which is cool. So, yeah.
Very cool. Right on. I'm glad everyone had fun. I'm glad everybody enjoyed the kind of transitionary episode, you might say, from one act to the next. I think it's really cool that you guys are officially out of the sewers, that there's whatever intrigue to all this, and that for all intents and purposes, everything went off. So yeah, it makes for a good, strong story. Everybody seems pretty clear on the intrigue at hand, and yeah. I'd say all in all, it's shaping out to be just as good as I'd hoped. So right on. I'm glad everybody had fun. Everybody gets a 250 experience? Wait, what level are you guys on? 4?
4.
4, yeah. So take 300 experience then. And otherwise, it has been my pleasure to be your entertainer, your dungeon master, for another fantastic episode of Dungeons & Dragons, from my garage and bubble to your home. I don't know when you guys want to play next, but let me know. Until then, may your 20s always land on 20.
Thanks.
Cheers.
All right. Thanks,
Alrighty.
guys.
Have a good one, everyone.
Awesome.
Nice to play with you all.
Have a good night, all. And don't
a good
forget to shut down your iPhone, too.
Oh, yeah.
Right on. Have a good night,